And in fact, the natural state of all human beings is to be empty of concepts while we're perceiving with our senses, just empty, just here and experiencing right now in this moment. And that in fact, what we do as human beings, constantly conceptualizing about something, rehashing old memories while we're experiencing, is an abnormal state of consciousness. That what's normal and natural is to be experiencing something for the first time, or someone for the first time each time. We can do this right now, and I'd urge you to join in with this if you want to give you a kind of taste of how I experience the world. And if you like it, you can continue to do it. You can practice it more and more. You could also call it meditation, but I don't really want to go there today. Just here now in this moment with me, can you forget everything you know about me? Can you come to this moment now and meet me as if we've never met before? You don't know my name. You don't know anything about me. You've never been to a satsang before with me. As if we were just face to face with each other for the first time. And you can also forget that I'm a woman, that I'm English, that I'm however 46 or whatever. You forget all of that. And forget that this is a satsang too. Just put that aside. Because if you remember that, then you'll be trying to get something out of this time together. And maybe what we're trying to achieve here is the opposite. What happens when you meet me here now, completely free of concepts? Because without those concepts, those labels, without the label you're stamping on me, and perhaps more importantly, the label that you're stamping on you as seeker or student, and there's no Helen here, there's no teacher, there's no satsang happening here. Really, all you can say is that you're hearing some sounds through your ear and getting some visual stimuli through your eyes right now. Forgetting what you know about you. Forget that you're a seeker, or that you've found, or whatever it is that you're telling yourself right now, that this is a satsang. We can forget that. That there's something you need to understand to be free. Let's forget that too. And if you can, just forget everything temporarily that you know about spirituality, about awakening, all your previous practice, everything you've ever done to try to wake up, every insight you've ever had. Just be blank here now, just meeting each other here and now. And that's all we can say for certainty. There's a meeting going on between two bodies, you and me. And then we'll forget the you and me, just completely forgetting that. So we're meeting with no history and no future anticipation of what we might get out of this and how that'll impact us in the future. As if you couldn't remember the names for anything, just can't remember the names for anything at all. Can't remember my name. Can't remember anything you know about me. Can't remember the style that I teach in or anything like that. You can't remember the favorite things I've said or anything. It's just all gone temporarily in this moment. Do the same for yourself as well. Forget everything as much as you can. And I'm not saying you have to clear out your consciousness. I'm just saying don't hold on to any idea that's floating around. Just let it float around and see how you feel when you do that. The highest expression of love is to let go of separation thinking. How do we keep this sense of separation going? It's by remembering, coming to each moment and adding our concepts to it. We think what we're thinking is what's actually occurring, and actually there's something different here right now we can experience. Just the presence here, you and me, without the you and me. Where it doesn't have to take any shape at all. Where whatever your eyes fall upon is just what you're experiencing. And There's no interpretation going on in this moment, no comparison of how far you are in this moment in your awakening compared to last satsang and all of that. Just let that go for a moment. And your body's still functioning, your heart's still beating, your ears are still hearing, you're still understanding these words. You don't really need to be conceptualizing, carrying this heavy bag of concepts around with you in order to understand everything. That's just happening spontaneously. You don't need any effort to understand the sentence I've just said, do you? You just know what it means, just like that. And anything else as well, any desire to live as the awakened state, just put that aside for now. And meeting me here, empty. Empty just means that you're not holding on to anything. This is the fullest expression. The best way you can love me is to meet me without thinking about me, without remembering me, without anticipating me. And I'll do the same for you. I don't know anything about you at all. Even if we spoke on the last satsang, and we spoke on every satsang, and I've met you many times physically, or I haven't met you at all, I'm approaching this in every moment with the same kind of openness. Just recognizing how that feels in your body, just checking out how your body feels when you don't know anything about anything right now, when you're not referencing anything to understand what's going on. Do you even need to understand right now? I used to think that awakening was going to be at the end of a final understanding, and then I'd be free. And I realized the freedom is in just being like this, more and more, until it's constant and effortless. It becomes constant and effortless and continuous, just being empty, simply by being this love that doesn't know anything and wants to discover in this moment what it actually is. Right now, this moment is this, isn't it? Right? It's appearing as this, these words, this situation, all of this. The next moment, it will be different. But actually discovering it here now in this moment, begin to have the same experience I'm having. And the only difference perhaps is that it's continuous and effortless here. And that is the natural state of a human being. We've just got so used to coming with our ideas, what we think we know, and adding them to the experience so that we don't even think they're separable, but we can just experience, just experiencing with me here. Maybe that is the goal. Experiencing reality as it actually is. And if there's thoughts floating around as part of that reality, it's okay. We only begin to suffer when we hold on to those thoughts. Because if you don't think about me right now, and you just experience me right now, you won't feel separate to me. You also won't feel joined or merged with me. You'll just feel peaceful. And there's no idea of two. All that remains is the one, showing up as your body and my body, and all of this. And as you get used to how it feels to just walk around your life, empty, free, you still have your bag of concepts that you can use. But naturally, you return back to the emptiness spontaneously, out of habit. And there is this deep richness, this deep intimacy that's possible with all of life like this, where you love someone so much that you don't want to experience your thoughts about them. You want to experience them. Where you love life so much that you want to experience it in its fullness, its richness, and not so much your thoughts about what's happening. And when you love yourself so much that you forget everything you can about yourself, especially that you're awakened or unawakened, or worthy or unworthy, or ready or not ready, or ripe or not, or whatever we're telling ourselves as seekers. And this is the highest surrender, the highest renunciation, the highest expression of love, where they all meet. Those words mean the same thing. Surrender really comes from, the root of it means to give back. What else can you give back right now? Can you feel the sense of just being unburdened, liberated right now when you don't know anything? And really, it's where we all started from. We just added this heavy bag of concepts that we've got to carry around with us, or we think we do. And it's not really true at all that you can't go through life like this continuously, watching your body spontaneously function and do all the things it needs to do. It's quite capable of doing all the things it needs to do all by itself. It's wonderfully intelligent because it is this divine love. And there's nothing kinder for our bodies than to experience life from this emptiness. Our bodies constantly having to live with, deal with, experience the vibration of the thoughts that we're holding on to. And when you get a taste for how it feels in the body to be like this, to not know anything, then we recognize that we can consciously choose to not know anything in this moment, examining what we thought we're coming to a situation with. What's it like to have a conversation with someone when you don't know anything about that person? Is it really adding to the conversation to come with your history? Or is it actually detracting from what's possible? Is it limiting what's possible to experience? And that's why we all love being around awakened beings anyway, because you can't stay around them for too long and still remember everything that you're holding on to. After a while, it just all falls away. We usually go back to it later, but until we don't. When I began to experience what it's like to forget that I had further to go, or that I wasn't good enough, or that there's a world out there that needs fixing. Really, the whole world is inside our head. The conceptual world, what we think we're seeing out there, is really in here completely. All we're actually experiencing right now is vibration. Our senses take in vibration, which are just ripples on the surface of the ocean of our being. Stillness, and then it ripples on the surface, and we call that manifestation, and then we call it world. And we create this whole network in our head of other beings. And we tell stories about those beings. And we tell stories about ourselves. And we've come to so believe those stories. But now is a moment when we can let go of them. You didn't have to do any practice. You just begun to forget. Consciously choosing to forget is the most delicious experience you'll ever have. And it gets better and better and better. It's never stopped getting better for me. every day is more delightful, more joyful, more free. More free and always completely free. How does that work? But it does. More joy and also being the essence of joy. More loving and already being that love. And your mind will say, you can't stay like this. You can't go to work like this. You can't drive the car like this. You can't take the kids to school. You can't cook a meal like this. You can't, on and on it goes. So I'm just reminding you that this is your natural state. This is simply returning to factory settings, to the default, and releasing this abnormal state, contracted state, imaginary state of separation. It's never been true. Just because the rest of the world agrees with us that it's true doesn't mean it ever was. And it may feel a bit strange at first to walk around like this, to be in this constant, effortless, meditative, conditioned state with your eyes open while your body's moving. But it really is just the natural state. And your brain chemistry begins to change, your body begins to change and reflect this. Begin to experience higher frequencies in the body. Everything that needs to uncurl itself and unravel itself will do so. Begin to experience abundance of all kinds. There's not this actual final moment where you let go. It's just really, are you surrendered in this moment? Are you free right now? And will you be like that still in an hour from now? And if you're not, it's okay. You can just drop it again. So will you meet me like this? Because I am everywhere. Everywhere, every person you look at is me or is you, whichever you want to. Meet yourself like this. Will you love yourself enough to see what this feels like? And to walk around your life, your existence, free. It's beautiful. It begins to change everything around you. It allows everything naturally to revert to its spontaneous highest manifestation, its highest vibration. In people, they tend to feel more peaceful, more happy, more joyful around you. In objects and things, they tend to get an abundance. Things start to show up that you've needed, that you've wanted. A thing comes into your life that you've been seeking when you don't know what it is. We're not letting go of anything valuable here. Mind is simply an interconnected network of thoughts based on this false idea that we're a separate being. How valuable can that be then to gently release? And mustn't it only enhance your life? Starting by how you feel right now. And then it'll spread into all aspects of your life. All your relationships will get an upgrade. Most of all, your relationship with yourself. Will you love yourself enough to forget what you think you know about yourself? All of your spiritual history, all of your awakening resume, would you forget that? Forget how many years you've been at this. Forget how long your awakening's been going on, what stage you think you're at, and how much further you think you have to go. I don't have any of that I'm holding on to. When I look at you, I don't see a work in progress. I see a beautiful mystery, spectacular mystery, expressing itself as a human being. And it just comes down to what we're willing to forget. You can choose to forget. Just by coming to an experience, and any experience that you have, you can do it throughout the rest of the day. Any encounter that you have, anything that you're watching on the TV, just forgetting what you think you know about it. What do I think I know about this situation? About myself, about this other being? What do I think I know about awakening? Am I willing to put it aside? Awakening isn't really some kind of final knowledge that gives you the key to everything, some final understanding. It's really quite the opposite of that. Being empty like we were as children, but consciously empty, so we can't lose it again. It's a choice. I can experience life through my concepts, or I can experience life. I can experience what I think about reality, or reality. This is love in action. This is you being this love right now. If you're feeling it, if you're really feeling it, you don't have to go back to what you know just because we finish this session, or because you go out the door, or because you start to speak to another human being. Little by little, you can live like this, day by day, more and more and more places where you just show up. You just show up for your life. And the stories might run for a while on autopilot, and that's okay. You just don't have to reference them so much. Just notice them and say, well, I'm not really sure that that's true. I'd like to experience what's actually true. It just gives you a little room between you and your stories. Just a simple recognition. They don't have to be constantly trying to interpret this moment. I don't have to be trying to compare this moment to a previous one. I don't have to be comparing myself to something else or someone else. I don't have to be comparing, evaluating, all of that, analyzing in this moment. And maybe the safest way to be is just to experience. Just take a moment just to feel what it feels like to just experience. Just the senses taking this in. Your body's here, your senses are perceiving. And that's it. You don't need to remember what I've said. You don't need to analyze it. You certainly don't need to understand it. I haven't ever said anything that anyone needs to understand. All of these words are just to somehow facilitate some momentary willingness to just stop conceptualizing. and getting a taste of how it feels to just be like this. And of course we want this, and we want this more, and we want this all the time, and we want this effortlessly. And just moment by moment, applying this, forgetting to a different part of our lives we haven't applied it to yet. Until you fall in love with it so completely that you never want to know anything about anything ever again. That doesn't mean you can't read a book or watch a movie or discuss with concepts. But you're doing that because it's fun and for no other reason. Just being here, just meeting me here. Forgetting me and you. Forgetting teacher and student. Meeting as not even equals, because that is too. Just meeting.